What's going on? It's your boy Black Rob. So I posted a meme with a picture of Colin Kaepernick on his knee during the anthem, and then another picture of the the black military officer being dragged out of his car by the police. And the caption was, "You always say respect the military, but this is how you show it." Very plain commentary. So, one thing I've noticed in the last year and a half, and most of my life, honestly, is we have a problem with a black man taking a knee during a song for a piece of cloth before a sports game. We have a bigger issue with that than we do with an officer of the law with a knee on the back of a neck of a man who is unarmed, not charged, not arrested, for a 29-year-old that allegedly might have been counterfeit for 9 minutes, for over almost 10 minutes. We are horrible. I am so... If you know me, you know I'm a calm dude. I'm a happy dude. I'm a funny dude. I'm not calm. I'm not happy. I'm so pissed off. So many things have happened this month, and it's ridiculous. Another child shot to death by a police officer accidentally. Cool. If I accidentally break something in a store, I have to pay for that. Sorry. It's not okay. A guy who is frightened because of the things that are going on with the police drives to a well-lit gas station to get pulled over by the police, has guns drawn, him yanked out, and an officer asks him if he's scared, and then responds with, "Yeah, you should be." But that's okay, because he didn't comply. He didn't do what was asked of him. I'm not a researcher. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I looked some things up. I Googled, and not complying is a misdemeanor, an arrestable offense, but you'd be released and sent home. I don't think you get it. For those of you that get upset with the race card, well, I'm sorry, I'm black. I didn't pick this. This is the color God gave me. I'm thankful for it. I'm going to rep it. That's why I call myself Black Rob, because I am. It's an identifier. It's like I'm male. I'm a husband. I'm a father. That's who I am. If you don't like that, that is your problem, not mine. And if you don't like it, I don't know why, because if you don't know me, then you're probably racist, if that's the reason why. I only see, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I only see when black people do something to stand up for something they see as wrong, as they're corrected, or they're misguided, or they're playing the race card. How is that okay? How is that okay? How is it okay that a child is out playing and dies because of the police? Because they didn't do what they were told. That's not, sit down. This is going to be a big one. I'm Republican. Have been since I was a kid. When I was little, I knew then. I'm like, oh, I like these values. This party. This is who I want to be a part of. And I am pro death penalty. Let that sink in for a little bit. So let's sink in for a little bit. But I also believe in law and order and justice and due process and all of that. All of it. What does that mean? Well, that means people should be arrested, not murdered in the street for not listening. I was raised in an abusive household. I got hit when I didn't listen. I was grounded when I didn't listen. I lost privileges when I didn't listen. But I was also raised that the police can take your life, because of the color of your skin if you don't listen. And here's the kicker: there's no repercussions for that. None. The big problem I have is victim blaming. And up until last March, I was a lot like that. I blamed George Floyd for dying. He didn't do anything. But because it was the police involved, they can do no wrong. Well, last time I checked, our officers are human, and humans make mistakes. Humans are imperfect. So, sorry, not sorry. He didn't kill himself. I remember living in Connecticut, 2000 to 2005. I remember hearing on the news regularly of people running unarmed black men being shot in the back because they ran. It's like, well, he deserved it. It's a stop or shoot. He deserved to die. That was my mindset. That if you just comply or die. I was very broken. Very broken. So when Colin Kaepernick started taking a knee to protest police brutality, which, by the way, that is a problem in this country. I don't know if you're aware of that. It is a problem. And it's a problem that we keep sweeping under the rug, that we keep saying it's other people's fault. When I ever hear people say, George Floyd shouldn't have died, but he was on drugs. He had previous crimes. I don't care if he just got finished raping. I don't care. I don't care what he did. Like, none of that has to do with the dude putting a knee on his neck. In that situation, because A, he already served his time. I didn't sentence him. You mad about him not doing enough time? Talk to the judge. Talk to the prosecution. That's not up to the police at the time. And bet you $1 a donut, Chauvin didn't know that. And even if he did, it's irrelevant. It's 100% irrelevant because he was called for a counterfeit bill. And how many other cops were there? And how many witnesses? And here's the thing: if you listen to the eyewitnesses' testimony, why they didn't help? Because they were scared to lose their life. Self-preservation. That is a natural human thing. So if you want to tell me the horrible things that George Floyd did, I know. And I don't care, because that had nothing to do with a knee being on that man's neck for over 9 minutes. Now you're telling me if that happened after he had done the things that he was accused of and he served time for? We're having a different conversation, okay? That's a whole different thing. But here's the thing. If I'm getting pulled over because my light, you can't see my tag, if I'm at the park playing with a toy gun, if I'm just running, if I'm going to get candy, if I'm asleep, here's the thing that black people have died for in the last year to 2 years. Sleeping, shopping, walking, running in their own neighborhood, being a child, being outside, being inside, going to their car to see if their children are okay. These are the things that black people do to get killed by the police. It's never during a crime. It's never doing, a mass shooting. Now, I would figure if I had a weapon, right, and I just murdered more than one people, I'm not gonna make it to the police station to be charged. I'm not going to have the police say that I was having a bad day. I'm not going to hear people say it's because of my addiction. That people should have pity. When George Floyd died, I heard zero pity from so many people. Myself included. Because That's how we value the life of a black person. And don't tell me you're not racist. Because if you feel like what I'm saying is accusing you of racism, then you're probably racist. Because I never said that you were racist. You came to that conclusion. And it's okay if you're racist. Because it's curable. Because it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Because I had my mind changed. Because I saw something. Right when the beginning of the protests and the riots for George Floyd happened, one of the Minneapolis police departments got burned down. And I was like, yo, how does that even happen? Like, everyone, like, if the police shot everyone outside, they're trying to burn down a police station, I would have zero comments about that because, like, that's insane. Like, they're trying to kill us. They earned every bullet they caught. But they left, let them burn it down. There was a newscaster, a black man. Police asked him to move. He says, I'm with the press. He showed them his credentials. And they jacked this man up, and him and his crew with him. His producer was white, his cameraman who was Hispanic, and just rushed him, arrested him for not listening while he was moving back. This is on film, by the way. And then there was a white reporter just a few blocks down. And he said, sir, we're going to need you to move. Step back. We need you to step back. He says, I'm with the press. Okay. And left him on his merry way. And my brain and my heart broke right then and there. Why didn't they let the one guy go and the other guy? And the light bulb literally shone overhead. I've been pulled over walking twice. Let me say that again. I've been pulled over walking twice. One story's really funny. One story's not. One story, I'm handcuffed. One story, I'm trying to go walk with a friend who gets off work late at night, and I just want them to be safe on their walk home because it's a bad neighborhood. And luckily, I'm a giant black guy. No one knows me, so a little bit intimidating. Even though if you do know me, I'm just a big old teddy bear. So I matched the description, is what I was told. So it's 2 a.m. I'm in a very dark street. I'm handcuffed. There's 3 officers there, and I'm by myself. What do you think I'm thinking? Am I worried about being arrested? Am I worried about living to see another day? I'll let you stew in that. Today I'm looking at a story about a kid who got shot at a high school. The officer was called a hero. Kid had a gun. Which is insane to me. Why would you bring a gun to school? I hate school. I can't say those 2 words together. And I refuse to. But he brought a gun. The officer was shot. Shot the kid. Kid died. Officer lived. Then the next day, found out the bullet that the officer was shot with did not come from the kid's gun. In fact, the kid never fired his weapon. The black kid. Did I mention that? The black kid who got shot and killed by the white officer at school. Should he have brought a gun? Nope. Should he have died? Also no. You're not going to justify a life being taken to me at this point. Especially a black one. I have lived and breathed a toxic mindset for so many years. And laughed and joked myself. It's not that serious. I had someone who I care about, a friend of mine. So, and I don't use that term lightly. A friend of mine posted some photos where there was the optics of it. There was 3 Ks in the photo. They're side by side. They weren't like all together, but if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. And it was just a bad look. And I just pointed it out. and I'm really snarky and I'm really sarcastic and I can be mean, and I wasn't. I was polite. I was like, hey, there's these BKs here side by side with a thing with an emoji after. That's it. That's it. And then for some reason I got attacked. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. Cool. But how am I going to know that from somebody off the street and just happen to see it? Or someone else sees it and they take it to a whole nother level. So for my act of kindness, I got blocked and people attacked me. Try to end your boy for real. I found out that night I have some really good friends looking out for me. Big shout out. Big shout out to Mama Bear. You know who you are. But like, you're coming at me when you're wrong. Like, please don't. Like, I've had to learn and grow in the last year and a half that how toxic my mindset and my actions were. And I learned that. And I changed. And I grew from that. That's not okay. When I look at it, and I look at it the same way. I look at all these racist things that are going on in the country the same way with, let's say, like sexual assault and rape and all these things, right? It's real cool to say, oh, I'm going to beat up a rapist. It's better to say, I'd rather prevent someone from raping someone and not be okay with sexually charged jokes and inappropriate comments to women. I think that's a better mindset to have than to say, I'm against racism, but cops killing black people is a thing that happens and it's the victim's fault. I don't think you know what the word victim means. It's never the victim's fault. Repeat after me. It's never the victim's fault. Because they're a victim. A kid getting hit by their parent for not listening? Is that okay? Are we really okay with that? Cool. Then we're not okay with someone who has no weapons and isn't actively trying to hurt a police officer being murdered. We're not okay with someone who is unarmed with their back to the police being shot and killed. Okay. We're not okay with children being shot by the police. We're not okay with police who have training accidentally pulling the wrong weapon off the wrong side of their body with the wrong weight and the wrong color and the wrong feel that has a safety while the weapon you drew didn't, and then killing a person and taking that saying it was an accident. It wasn't. Stupidity? Probably. Accident? No. What you say and what you do matters. What you say and what you do matters. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what you post on social media. Be aware of what you say. Be aware of your audience. And don't be a dick. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I hear so much crap about my church. Here's the thing. I wouldn't care about another human being if it wasn't for my church. I wouldn't care about any victims if it wasn't for my Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay? That's because that's what I learned in the church. I didn't grow up in the church. I was a convert in high school. My dad was pissed when I joined this white church, as he called it. And then when my mom passed, and the night before her funeral, he asked me for pallbearers. He asked me to call the church and ask for help. And I made two-minute phone calls, and that was it. I had people there because they knew me and they loved me. That was it. That's all it took. But the 25 years I've been a member, all I hear from people are, how can you be in the church when they treated black people so poorly back in the day? They wouldn't let them be members. This, that, and the other thing. I'm like, listen. I still live in this country and we're still killing black people like it's the 1700s. Like it's okay. And it's not. So, because I love the police, and this is my part to tell that, I have two brothers who are former police officers, retired. Okay? I respect the badge more than you'll ever know. I put police, my respect level is police, military, right behind that. I put police up front because they go into situations they have no idea what's going to happen on a daily basis, and that is real. And I've befriended a lot of police officers through work that I've done, and I have friends that are now police officers. But none of them have killed anybody. And all of them treat me with respect, and when I get pulled over, I've got really good conversations and really good interaction with the police because I've been raised to the back of my mind, always be afraid of what's going to happen. I've been pulled over with a friend that told a police officer to F off. Literally, I'm in the car. I'm immediately terrified that I'm going to jail or worse. They were white, I was black. They didn't even get a ticket. The first time I got pulled over, I was driving. I was on the freeway. Is for I was following a vehicle too close. Got a ticket. What I wasn't expecting was to be asked to step out of the car on a freeway. Like, even when I talked to someone else, like, it's not abnormal, but it is kind of weird. So yeah, my brother and my friends and brothers have been busted and have profiling the thing. So if you don't think that's a thing, I wish I could live in your world of unicorns and Smurfs and butterflies and rainbows, but it's real. So yeah, just don't be a dick, and yeah. Oh, and before I forget, Black Lives Matter. I'm black. I don't have any blue friends. I have friends who have jobs, who uniforms could be blue, but like that's it. So I don't want police officers to be hurt. I don't want anyone doing anything stupid. But yeah, blue lives isn't a thing. So all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. And if we could all get on that page, I think a lot of things would happen for the betterment of everyone. I'm done. Like legit, I'm done. I have a daughter. We live in a predominantly white neighborhood. And when I moved here, I was scared to death because I'm the only black person around. And a lot of these people's kids in their lives, when they're born, if they're born after I moved here, I was the first black person they saw. So when they would go to a store and they would happen to run into a random black dude anywhere else, they would yell for me. Unfortunately, my nickname is Black Rob, and that's what people know me as out here, and they would yell that to a person, and that is a funny thing to be heard in a store, unless you're the black person they're yelling it to. But it's a funny story when I hear it. It's pretty funny. But everyone here treats me with respect because I respect everyone else. And I hope they all see me as a person, but they also see me as a black man. Colin Kaepernick took a knee because he used to sit during the anthem, and he had a friend. He was a vet. Served our country. Said, "Hey man, I know I respect you for what you're doing and trying to bring attention to something that needs attention brought to it, but you're being real disrespectful for sitting." And he asked him, "What should I do? What's more respectful?" He says, "Well, you could take a knee." I'm like, "You guys take knees all the time, so why don't you take a knee?" That is why he took a knee. That's why he takes a knee. That's why everyone takes a knee. It was the idea from a vet. So if that offends you, I'm sorry, you're wrong. And if you see me at a sporting event, or if you see me anywhere and the national anthem is being played, I will have my hand on my heart and my knee on the ground. with no apology ever coming out of my mouth, believe that. Because I hear people arguing about the phrase Black Lives Matter. Like and if it really offended you, if that whole phrase really offended you, you wouldn't say all lives matter, and you wouldn't say blue lives matter, you wouldn't say any other lives matter. You wouldn't say that. Because the problem with that phrase that you have is the black part. And you need to look into yourself and see that. Don't talk to them about the organization or anything else. That is the problem. That is the problem. And if you're so fast to talk about a black man taking a knee during a song, before you'll say anything about police brutality being a problem, moral lives are being taken, more unarmed, nonviolent people who aren't criminals are being murdered by the police. They're dying. More people die from that than from a guy taking a knee during a song. Think about it. I'm done.